If the Earth's oxygen supply were to suddenly disappear, the consequences would be dire. In the short term, people would experience dizziness, headaches, and difficulty breathing. In the long term, they would suffocate and die. Without oxygen, many of the Earth's organisms would also perish. The oceans would become lifeless, and plant life would wither away. This scenario may seem far-fetched, but it is not outside the realm of possibility. A sudden drop in the Earth's oxygen supply could be caused by a number of things, including a massive solar flare or a shift in the Earth's magnetic field. While the likelihood of either of these events happening is relatively low, they are not impossible, and their potential consequences are too great to ignore. 1. If the Earth's oxygen supply were to suddenly disappear, what would happen? If the Earth's oxygen supply were to suddenly disappear, a number of things would happen. The most immediate effect would be that people would start gasping for breath. Within a few minutes, people would start to feel lightheaded and dizzy, and within 10 minutes, they would lose consciousness. After about 3 to 5 minutes without oxygen, brain damage would start to occur. Within an hour of the oxygen disappearing, all higher life forms would be dead. This includes animals and plants. The lack of oxygen would cause their cells to break down, and they would quickly die. The disappearance of oxygen would also have other effects on the planet. Fires would start to spread, as oxygen is necessary for combustion. Decomposition would also start to slow down, as bacteria need oxygen to break down organic matter. The planet would eventually become a very different place without oxygen. All life would be extinguished, and the planet would become a cold, dark, and dead place. 2. Mammalian life would not be able to survive. Mammals require oxygen to live. If the Earth's oxygen supply were to disappear, mammals would not be able to survive. When mammals breathe, they take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. This process is called respiration. Respiration is how mammals get the oxygen they need to live. Without oxygen, mammals would not be able to respire. This would quickly lead to death. 3. Anaerobic bacteria would take over. If the Earth's oxygen supply disappeared suddenly, the atmosphere would become anoxic, and anaerobic bacteria would take over. These bacteria are able to thrive in environments without oxygen and would quickly multiply. The lack of oxygen would also kill off many other organisms, including plants, animals, and most other bacteria. This would cause a severe imbalance in the ecosystem and could lead to the extinction of many species. 4. The planet would become a hot, sulfurous mess. The Earth is a unique planet in our solar system, not only because it is the only one known to support life, but also because it has an abundance of oxygen. Oxygen is essential for all known life forms, and it is also a key component of the Earth's atmosphere. Without oxygen, the planet would become a hot, sulfurous mess. When photosynthesis first began on Earth, the atmosphere was very different from what it is today. It was probably rich in methane, carbon dioxide, and other gases that are toxic to us now. But as plants began to convert these gases into oxygen, the atmospheric composition changed. Over time, the concentrations of methane and carbon dioxide declined, while the concentration of oxygen increased. This change in the atmosphere's composition had a profound impact on the evolution of life on Earth. Oxygen is required for the metabolic processes of all known organisms. In animals, oxygen is used in respiration to produce energy. 5. Plants would be the first to go. If the Earth's oxygen supply were to vanish overnight, the planet would be plunged into an ecological catastrophe. All plants would die, followed by animals and eventually humans. Oxygen is vital for plants to carry out photosynthesis, the process by which they convert sunlight into food. Without it, they would simply wither and die. This would have a knock-on effect on the animals that rely on plants for food. Herbivores would have nothing to eat, leading to mass starvation, while predators would also eventually starve as their prey disappeared. Humans would be the last to go, as we can survive for weeks without food, but only minutes without oxygen. However, without plants producing oxygen, we would eventually suffocate. The loss of oxygen would also have other devastating effects on the planet. Oxygen is a key component of the ozone layer, which protects us from harmful UV rays.